Okay, Mr. Bowser, we can proceed.
Thank you. The meeting will now come to order. Diana, would you read the sunshine laws, please?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Law, notice of this meeting stating the time and place was satisfied by the filing of an annual notice with the local source and the Star Ledger, newspapers of general circulation within the Township of Union, on the bulletin board of the Township of Union Municipal Building, and noticed on the Township of Union website.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the virtual planning board meeting for the Township of Union. May I have a roll call, please?
Certainly. Ms. Frazier?
Here.
Mr. Johnston?
Here.
Mr. Lee?
Here.
Mr. Lewis? Ms. Perkins?
Here.
Reverend Starling? Mayor Figueredo?
Here.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Here.
Ms. Ricketts? Mr. Miller?
Here.
Chairman Bowser?
Here. At this time, can we swear in the township engineer?
You're on mute, Tina.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's technology for you.
Okay. Do you swear that the evidence you should give to this board in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve the minutes of January 27th, 2022.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of January 27th, 2022.
I have a second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Roll call vote, please.
Okay. Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Yes.
Committeeman, I'm sorry, Mayor Figueredo?
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort?
Abstain, not present.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes. At this time, we have two resolutions. The first resolution is application 2021-09 Centurion Union. This application we had discussed earlier where we had some inclusions to make to that. Is Mr. Hale available at this time to address those comments?
Is Stephen Hale, he's not in, right? Okay.
I don't see him here.
No, we may have to give him a call because we don't see him here either. Give me a moment.
He's listed as an attendee. I see him in the attendee list.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you,
Just
Steve.
raise his hand.
Thank you, Steve. She's got him. Okay, he should be in? Okay. We're looking for him. There he is. Okay.
Good evening. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Hale. We're currently in the process of going through the resolutions, and we had a couple of questions regarding the resolution
Sure.
2021-09 Centurion Union.
Sure.
If you recall, during the testimony and subsequent questioning, we had discussed at length the issue around fumes and things of that nature, and we had talked to the issue of front parking or pull-in parking as a means of alleviating some of that, and wanted to include that in one of the items that you had listed here in bullet item number 12. And that was something that we had wanted to discuss with you.
No problem at all. We did commit to that, and no problem having the resolution include that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hale.
No, thank you.
With that being said, can I have a motion to approve This resolution with the stipulation as stated by Mr. Hale to conform to our questioning and giving us the answer to that particular question. Can I have a motion to approve?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move the resolution for application 2021-09 Centurion Union LLC with the stipulation and as mentioned tonight.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Johnston,
Yes.
Mr. Lee,
Yes.
Ms. Perkins,
Yes.
Mayor Figurito,
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Bowser.
Yes. Next,
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
thank you, Mr. Hale. Next, we have resolution application 2022-01, 11731, Route 22 Realties. Can I have a motion to approve that resolution?
Mr. Chairman, I also move the resolution for application 2022-01 1731 Route 22 Realties.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Johnston,
Yes.
Mr. Lee,
Yes.
Ms. Perkins,
Yes.
Mayor Figurito,
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort,
Abstain, not present.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Bowser.
Yes. Okay, moving right along, we have a number of items under new business that will be carried. First, we have the Chick-fil-A. Will the representative for Chick-fil-A please come forward?
Yeah, Chairman Bowser, Steve Hale again. And on behalf of Chick-fil-A, yes, we would like to carry this. We're hopeful that we're still working on some revisions to the plans. On behalf of Chick-fil-A, they apologize to the board for the delays, but we should have those finalized to be ready for the next meeting. As you know, the essence of that application is to add a second drive-through to alleviate the issues of stacking. We did a revised plan. It's being reviewed on, unfortunately, Phil can't review this because of a conflict, so it's in the hands of Harbor Consultants, but we should be getting them plans within the next week or so. And we did agree, Phil, I think I mentioned, and Tina, that we'll renotice because it's been carried enough times, or too many times, so as to not need to renotice. We are going to renotice prior to the next hearing. I don't think it's going to trigger any additional variances, but we'll certainly let the board know. And again, on behalf of our client, we apologize for the delay.
Steve, one thing. Please go back and talk to your client about replenishing their escrow account, because until that happens, I don't think Victor is prepared to do any more work on it.
No problem. They're selling enough chicken there. They can do that.
Okay.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve carrying Chick-fil-A to I believe it's the March 24th meeting with renotice, and also with the stipulation that Phil mentioned regarding replenishing the escrow account? Can I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Chair, yes, so moved by Mr. Johnson, and I will second that motion.
Thank you. The next item that's being carried, I believe, is the Hollywood Memorial Park Cemetery. Will the representative for that application come forward?
Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, you're stuck with me again on that. This was only filed a short time ago. We did receive some comments from Phil's office, and we're in the process of addressing those, and I'll probably have a site meeting with Phil, probably mainly in connection with perhaps some additional landscaping. So we would respectfully request that this one be carried to the March meeting. Differing from the other case, And by the way, I'd like to stipulate on Chick-fil-A that, and I think we've done it in letters and on this case, that we would certainly consent to any appropriate extension of the 120-day time period. I don't think we're nearly close on the cemetery, but I would request this one be carried without the requirement of further notice, as opposed to, again, the Chick-fil-A application.
Can I have a motion to carry the Hollywood Memorial Park and Cemetery to the March 24th meeting without notice? Motion to approve?
I make a motion to carry application 2022-03 Hollywood Memorial Park and Cemetery to our next meeting.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Have a roll call vote?
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee? Ms. Perkins?
Yes.
Mayor Figueredo?
Yes.
Committeewoman Jellisfort?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes.
Again, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. See you shortly.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the Union Arts Center presentation. Will Mr. Travisano, I guess he's be the first one making the presentation at this time. Will he come forward?
I'm here, Mr. Chairman. I don't know if you can see me.
I can hear you, but I don't see you yet.
Trust me when I tell you, it's better to hear me than see me, I promise.
There you go.
How's that? Is that better?
I saw you briefly.
How's that? That's probably better. I have to tell you, it's definitely awkward for me to be on this side of the camera. I'm usually, as you guys know, I'm usually in your seats. So I just wanted to say hello and let you know that it's my great pleasure to come before you guys tonight. But before I do, I wanted to take the opportunity just to say thank you first and foremost on behalf of the residents of the township. It's not often that I get to be here, so I do want to say thank you for all that you do as volunteers. And it's just important for me to let you know that your contributions are very much valued. So thank you. Now on to the business at hand. Words can't express how deeply proud I am to be here tonight to talk about this project. And I am here as Township Administrator in my official capacity on behalf of the Township of Union. The municipal land use law provides that a municipality may in fact present a courtesy review or presentation. And that's why we are here tonight to present the library and Arts Center project. This is a project that I am proud to say that our team has worked on probably every single day of the last 2 years, and that includes nights and weekends if you're keeping track. So after this brief introduction, I'm going to turn it over to Tom Potter of Potter Architects. He's the I hate to even say that Tom is just the architect on this project because he's been so much more. Counselor, picks out colors, he keeps me in check, and et cetera, et cetera. So Tom's going to show the renderings. He's going to give you the look and feel, and you're going to be completely wowed by this showpiece building. And then when Tom is finished, I think it's probably either Phil or Joe will walk you through the site plan. And at that point, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Before we do that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the timing of this building. So we anticipate that we will go out to bid shortly. So spring out to bid, construction in the spring. Happy to report that this will be a building that will be built with union labor under a project labor agreement. And I expect that this project will be a 21-month construction time frame. And as I mentioned, when this project is complete, we will have the showpiece library, tech hub, meetup space, art center that this township deserves. So again, I just wanted to say thank you for your time. thanks again for your volunteerism. And with that, I will turn it over to Tom Potter.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
So do I have to get sworn in?
I'll swear you in. Do you swear that the information you give to the board in this action should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
So help you God. Great.
So do I have the ability to share my screen right now? Or can I be granted permission?
Yes.
Yes, you should be able to.
Can everybody see? Oh, can everybody see this rendering?
Not yet,
Not yet.
Tom.
There you go.
There you go.
Can you see the rendering now?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the particulars of the building. I'll show a couple of different renderings as I'm going through the description of the building. And when I get done talking about the particulars, I'll take you through some other images and the architectural drawings quickly. And then I'll take any questions that anybody might have. So this building is obviously going on the site of where the current original library is built, which was constructed in 1953. The new art center and new library will be 2 stories of library plus a ground floor art center totaling approximately 44,000 square feet. The new library will include large open stack and reading areas, a dedicated children's library, an adult level library, casual lounges, business center, public computer areas, computer learning classrooms, media study areas, activity technology rooms, meeting spaces, and on the ground floor art center, a cafe, a 150-seat black box multi-purpose theater, an art gallery, and additional classrooms. Also on the ground level, we will have this large plaza that opens right out onto the Morris Avenue parking lots, which will make the building very pedestrian friendly to patrons coming from Union Center along Morris Avenue sidewalks. The Art Center Plaza can open up into the parking areas and work in conjunction with functions that happen in the parking lot, such as the farmer's market on Thursdays, etc. It opens up a whole new avenue to the functionality of the building on the Morris Avenue side of the building, which has long been underutilized. On the back side of the property, which is the Freiberger Park side, can everybody see that I switched to a different view of the rendering now?
Yes.
So that is the view of the building with the main entrance for the library fronting on Freiberger Park. And as you can see on the right side of the rendering, this is the back of Town Hall. There were many factors that influenced the development of this building, many external and internal factors, not the least of which was the evolution of the entrance to the library as it sits now. As many of you can see on the old building, the original main entrance fronted on Morris Avenue, but due to the gradient and the differential from the Morris Avenue parking lot to get up to the main entrance, over the course of time, the main entrance to the library evolved to be more along the Les Malmut Gallery area of the building where the elevator is. So over the course of time, the vast majority of patrons came into the building from Freiberger Park side via the access drive and the upper level parking lots. So to that end, we chose to locate the new main entrance to the library on the Freiberger Park side, adjacent to all the new parking area that has been constructed up there, and then allow this to become the main library facade while featuring the Art Center entrance on the Morris Ave side of the lot and taking advantage of those parking lots. Some of the other features of the building that were influenced by external factors were that the building needed to have an exterior drive-up window. Oh, wrong rendering. So that cars would be able to pick up and drop off books. You know, patrons could do pick up and drop off of books and media materials from their vehicle, which was a result of the COVID pandemic. So this side of the building, which is the side you'll see as you come up the current access drive on the side of the library, will allow cars to come in, a weather-protected covering here, and there's going to be a transaction window similar to a vehicular bank teller window, where patrons would be able to drop off books, pick up books, etc. So that was an external feature of the building that had to be incorporated as well. There's plenty of pedestrian access to this building. Although it's not shown, there's going to be a major sidewalk coming up the side of the building from Morris Avenue. There's pedestrian access from that lower level plaza, and there's also going to be sidewalks that come in from the Freiburger Park side of the building. I want to talk a little bit about the Black Box Theater. So the town had been searching for a number of years for a Black Box Theater location. And prior to Don's arrival, there was a desire to potentially create a Black Box Theater somewhere in Union Center. There had been a need or a request to have a multi-purpose room as part of the library. So to that end, we thought it would be an opportunity to incorporate both into one for the library project. So the thought came that we could build the multi-purpose room, which would be accessible to the library for their needs during the day. And then at night, when the library closes down, the Black Box Theater could take on a whole different meaning and offer opportunities for evening entertainment, while at the same time securing off the upper levels of the library to be independent of the Black Box Theater. So in the evening, the upper levels of the library are closed off to the public, and then the public would have access to the Art Center from the lower level. There's approximately 80 parking spaces on Morris Ave that would be available to the Art Center and the Black Box Theater for evening use. So assuming part of the patrons for the Black Box will arrive via foot traffic, and the balance could come by car, and the numbers work out pretty well as far as parking and pedestrian access. We feel as though the Arts Center and the Black Box Theater function will completely reinvigorate the Morris Avenue side of the building. I want to talk a little bit about outdoor features. On the children's level of the library, which is the middle level here, there's going to be a large outdoor terrace exclusively accessible to the children's library. This is the quiet side of the building between the existing municipal building and the new library. And this will be highly landscaped with flowers and shrubs. And this is a large outdoor terrace for the children's use. Above that, there's an outdoor reading terrace, which is accessible from the adult library on the uppermost floor. A little bit about the facade of the building. We are trying to be mindful of the historic town hall while at the same time trying to be a cutting-edge modern building. So the design of the facade strived to incorporate both state-of-the-art modern features while at the same time paying homage to the town hall. So to that end, the roof tiles will be an exact match to the town hall. The brick will be an exact match to the town hall. The glass has individual window openings that'll be of similar architectural design to the town hall windows, but we have also incorporated these modern curtain wall 2- and 3-story high glass entrances, which are functional to the particular building elements, such as the lobbies, the large conference meeting rooms, 2-story high vaulted spaces, which run throughout the entire building. Those are visible in this interior rendering, where there's a high vaulted ceiling that runs through the whole building. You can see a glimpse of the large glass entrance wall that shows up on the outside. And looking in the opposite direction back out towards Freiberger Park, you can again see the high vaulted ceiling area that aligns with the large glass entrance for the main library entrance. We're also going to be incorporating a new landscape feature on the library side of the building as well. So this is the vehicular approach to the library entrance. There will be an accessible entrance both here and at the Art Center entrance. This is fully handicap accessible at-grade entrance, no steps. Vehicles will be able to pull up right alongside the main entrance and do pick up and drop off for young children and seniors in particular. And then when we get to the site plan, you can get a better look at it, but there's going to be a triangular island here that cars will be able to circulate around, which will be seasonal flowers, benches, outdoor contemplation areas, some dedication plaques, and perhaps some special outdoor township themed sculptural items that we've been contemplating. Maybe a neighborhood theme that Don and I have been kicking around, kind of to be determined. I just want to talk a little bit about the size of the building on each floor. This is the lower level floor plan. This is the outdoor plaza coming into a gallery area here. There's an art gallery, a large lobby. This is the black box theater. There's the cafe, classrooms, and the balance of this area, which is buried in the earth, is more or less mechanical and storage space. There is a monumental stair that goes up and connects all levels. There's an elevator that connects all levels. The black box theater is here with 150 seats. This floor level is approximately 15,660 square feet. The main level floor plan, which is the children's level, the main entrance to the library is here on the Freiberger Park side of the building. You come into a very spacious entry foyer. The main circulation desk is right here as you walk in. Again, there's a monumental stair that goes up and connects all levels. This is a 2-story atrium. There's an elevator, again, connecting all levels. All of the library staff will be working in this area, which is more or less behind the scenes, but readily accessible to the circulation desk and all of the public areas of the library. This level of the building is approximately 14,300 square feet. This is the uppermost level of the building, which is the adult library. Again, this is the open atrium. There's a monumental stair. The elevator comes up. And then all of the staff areas are again on this side of the building, readily accessible to information desks, etc., readily accessible to all of the public areas of the building, but operating again behind the scenes as needed. There are a total of 6 information desks in the library. There are 3 on each level. So there's plenty of visibility of staff for both patron needs and security oversight in all levels of the library. This level of the library is approximately 14,400 square feet. So the grand total of all floors of the library and arts center is approximately 44,430 square feet. The plaza outside the arts center, abutting the parking lot, is approximately 4,400 square feet. Some of the interior elements of the building, just go back to the renderings here. Clean lines, simple finishes, modern materials, glass and stainless steel stairs and balcony elements, 2 and 3 high story glass, curtain wall entrances, vaulted upper roof line with clear story windows that are up here above the roof to allow plentiful natural light through all areas of the interior. Clean lines of sight throughout for both the patrons and the staff. The location of the main circulation desk providing help immediately upon entry to the library for wayfinding and security, as well as obvious functions such as checkout. The open plan allowing for easy public access to all amenities. I also want to mention that this is going to be a very highly energy efficient building, and the intent is that the building will be LEED certified. So that stands for Leader in Energy Efficient Design. The striving for LEED certified is an indication of the town's commitment to providing a modern, clean, green, environmentally conscious building. There'll be above energy code efficiency here. There'll be abundant natural light and daylighting and quality views from all areas out into the natural landscaped areas. We'll be using low emitting materials with low carbon footprint and low greenhouse gas. Solar control and state-of-the-art tinting at all exterior windows, which will also serve to preserve the collection because natural sunlight can be damaging to the book collection. So we are using the state-of-the-art tinted low emittance glass in this building. We're using the highest levels of insulation. We're harvesting rainwater and we're building rain gardens all around the property. There is a potential for future renewable energy capture on the roof. We're using drought-resistant plantings. And lastly, I want to talk a little bit about the basic construction of the building. The building will have a complete structural steel frame. The exterior walls will be highly insulated with real brick veneer for durability that'll last 100 years. Insulated steel stud walls, completely fireproof construction. All of the foundation walls will be poured concrete. The walls are sound resistant, and the building is 100% sprinklered and also includes 2 fully enclosed fire exit stairs. The building's 100% ADA accessible on all levels. Just quickly, I want to just show you some of the technical drawings. These are the technical architectural exterior facade drawings for the east elevation, which is where the covered drop-off is for the cars, for the book pickup and drop-off. This is the facade that faces Morris Avenue with the 3-story high glass facade, and the Art Center entry. These are the other two elevations. This is the elevation that faces the park with the 2-story high glass entrance for the main entrance of the library. And this is the side of the building that will face Town Hall with the children's reading terrace and the adult terrace above. And just some of the other views of the interior. This is a view of the upstairs looking out towards Morris Avenue. This is a view when you first walk into the library from Freiberger Park. Looking up through the atrium, you can see the upper level high vaulted ceiling, and then this is the children's level. I believe I already showed you this one. This is from the upper level looking out towards Freiberger Park. And I believe I showed you all the views of the exterior. This is a view from the brand new parking areas that are in the upper level adjacent to Freiberger Park. So again, Town Hall is in the background here. This is a car that perhaps just came around the driveway. This is the landscaped area right outside the main entrance. And this is more or less the existing access drive that traverses Freiberger Park from Bond Drive. And that is the building. You happy to answer any questions?
Yes, Mr. Potter, I have a question. I don't know if you went through this when you talked about some of the various areas, but does the layout include a breakout or small meeting rooms? Anything like that included?
Yes, there are numerous breakout areas in the building. So there's there are conference rooms on all levels of the building. In fact, there's one of the nicest conference rooms in the building is actually overlooking Morris Avenue. As you can see right here, one of the nicest feature areas in the entire building is a very large conference room that could be used both in the evening for library board meetings, and it can be used during the day for breakout study areas. It can be used for private meetings. It's multifunctional. It's completely glassed in on all 4 sides. So that's an upper level, just an example of a breakout area. There's conference rooms in the children's area, program spaces, and of course on the ground floor you have the Black Box Theater, which has, it's a true multi-purpose room because it has movable seating with a flat floor. So it can be used as a conference center. It can be used for meetings. It can be used for weddings. It can be used for author readings. It can be used for plays, music. In addition to that, across the hall on the lower level, there are 2 classrooms with a dividing partition. So they can also be used as breakout rooms or individual study classrooms, etc. So yes, there are a number of breakout spaces.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board?
I do. Tom, that was a beautiful presentation that looks amazing. I can't wait to see the finished product. So I have several questions. The drive up, does it have a passway? So let's say people pull up and then they realize, oh, they don't need to be there. Can they bypass the car ahead of them?
I think we need to look at the site plan. And I think
that's what I was going to suggest. It might be better to let to go through the site plan and then take questions after that, because I think there might be some answers that are there. But I certainly don't want to overstep my bounds.
I would agree. I think there could be a number of questions about how vehicles flow through the project. So I think on the site plan, we can look at those kind of questions better.
Okay, what about, I wanted to ask about, it looks huge. Will there be a need for hiring of new employees for the library? I don't know if you can answer that.
I can answer that. So I think when everything is said and done, the footprint is, believe it or not, maybe it's 800 square feet or 1,000 square feet larger than the current footprint. It's not actually that much bigger. However, we obviously have the new addition of the Art Center. Our intention is not to open that Art Center 24/7, 365 like the rest of the library. So it would almost be an as-needed special event space. So, we expect to have dedicated staff. What will be unique about this building that maybe some of our other buildings don't have, it will have first-rate security access. So in other words, you can't get into a room, a nook, a cranny unless you're meant to be there. So I think that's going to help a lot with the staffing levels. I don't anticipate there being a real need for this thing to have a lot of excess staff.
And
I would agree, Don.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I also just want to add to what Don said is that, we worked very closely with the library staff in developing the library plans. And the intent is that the existing library staff is going to operate both levels of the library without any need for more staff.
Okay. And you mentioned security. I don't know if I can ask that right now, just correct me. Will there be any kind of security doors, a buzzer to enter the library or any of the rooms in the library?
Without getting into the highest level of specificity, I will tell you that this building, of all of the public buildings within the township roster, this building by far will have what I will call the best of the best when it comes to restricted access, security cameras, you name it, panic bar. I mean, it's going to have everything in it.
And the cafe, is that something that's going to be run by the employees, or is it going to be rented out to an outside company? So the intention right now is for the cafe to be an accessory use to when the art center is functioning. So we anticipate that it'll be kind of a higher end deal. A restaurant can come in, not cook there, but can present there. Frankly, we don't really want it to be a snack stand. We think that there's nothing special about that. You can have a snack stand, out of a box or wherever else. We have also had discussions with the Dunkin' Donuts, quite candidly, and so we may have something to report on that at a later date. If we do, that would not change that model. We would coexist the cafe with the Dunkin' Donuts in some form or fashion. Great, thank you so much.
Thanks, Patty.
Any questions from the board?
I have like the $1,000 million question. Though it may not be applicable, I'll ask it anyway. I noted if the best case scenario is that we use the black box and at its capacity at 150 seats, you mentioned that there were 80 parking spaces, and were you referring simply to the front of the building or the entirety of its public parking?
That's just the parking available on the Morris Avenue side of the building. There's
And yet-
additional,
Yes, and that is-
parking up above.
Above, yes. That parking, however, is multi-use for other businesses and concerns within the center. Or would it be black box parking only when it is operational? Or would people, in fact, be struggling to find a parking space to come to our theater? I want it to be successful.
So I'll touch on that a bit with the site plan and telling how the site will function. With there will be some interconnection between the two parking lots along Morris Avenue that I think will be an improvement over how things operate now. And also, I think the intent or the expectation is that the art center will be more in use during nighttime or weekend hours when some of the other competing demands of town hall would not necessarily be present. So you kind of have a lot more flexibility from a parking standpoint as well.
I see.
Joe, do you know if there will be a change in parking spaces in that back area?
Yes, there will, and I'll show that on the site plan. Roughly, in general, we made improvements in the last 2 years to the parking and that faces the current front of the library, adding almost 20 spaces in that area between the basketball area and the library. We're going to have some other tweaks that we'll go through on the site plan, but a lot of these needs, increased parking, were already contemplated as far back as 2-3 years ago as we were progressing those plans.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. All right. Joseph, you can continue the engineering review. Sure. Give me a minute to load this up.
Let me swear you in.
I think I need to be allowed to present.
Does he have to, Joe has to, yeah, to share his.
Can you raise your right hand so I can swear you in?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was earlier, but I will again. Sure.
Do you swear that the information you should give to the board in this action should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you. And just for the record here, Joe Venezia, the township engineer. Are you able to see my screen yet? Let's see.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yep.
Yes? Okay. So we'll start with a bit of a zoomed out version. I don't have as pretty a picture as Mr. Potter. Obviously, hopefully the board sees what a beautiful building we're proposing here. And I think what you'll see as we kind of go through the site plan is in conjunction between the architect and ourselves, we really work to figure out some of the challenges that the site presents and figure out how we could kind of reimagine it and make it work better from a functional standpoint. So one of the big challenges, obviously, is the large hill in the front of the building along the Morris Ave frontage. You'll see the darker shaded area here, which is the plaza that Mr. Potter showed. So that will be at grade level with the existing parking lot along Morris Avenue. So you'll be able to now enter the building at grade level, whereas before you had to climb a series of stairs. We'll still have stair access around the municipal building side. The municipal building is where my cursor is now. And I had also mentioned earlier that we're going to be interconnecting the two parking lots here across the front entranceway. So during events, this will be open so event personnel can direct people from one lot to the other and have this be the main focus area. And again, during nights, weekends, we're not going to have the same competing demand necessarily for these front parking spaces as you might see during daytime hours. There'll also be some imprinted asphalt to really highlight the entrance area and brick pavers in this plaza leading up to the Morris Avenue entrance. If we come back through the site, everything will be repaved. The main entrance drive that connects Morris Avenue to Bond Drive in the rear, that'll all be repaved. We'd left off when we did the parking lot expansion and reconfiguration in the area in front of what's currently the main functional entrance along the access drive. We'd left that down 2 inches because we knew that there could be some potential construction if this project were to move forward, which it is. So this will all be repaved and restriped at the completion of this project. To answer one of the earlier questions, where the main entrance is now, along the entrance drive, there will now be a drop-off area for books, etc. That'll be 18 feet wide, and so yes, there should be room for a vehicle to go around the other one. The main entrance from the rear of the site, so there'll be 2 main focal point entrances, the Morris Avenue with the large plaza, and then at the rear of the site now, similar to how people enter on a day-to-day basis the municipal building. So they'll have access to the bank of parking that is on the west side of the site, as well as back here, excuse me, behind the municipal building, which will also be more available on weekends and nights. One of the main differences from a site plan standpoint is that the existing Girl Scout house, which is generally in this area, it's in poor condition, it's run down. We looked at being able to save it, and we don't believe we'll be able to relocate it from a structural standpoint. But we will be saving it and relocating it further to the Bond Drive portion of the site near the playground area. So that will be relocated here. And what that allows us to do is have a main entrance. As you come in off of Bond Drive at the rear, you'll be able to access directly towards here for purposes of drop-off at this second main entrance at the rear. We'll also be incorporating a rain garden. We had mentioned that there will be a total of 4 rain gardens for stormwater management purposes and being able to recharge the water, as well as for lead points. So it'll be at the front of the site along Morris Avenue, the 2 areas shown here, a large triangular one, which will provide a nice visual element as you drive up to the new main rear entrance, as well as one here near the playground and Girl Scout property. And there'll also be a 5th, rather, in this area on the other side of the parking. So there will be some minor reconfiguration of parking. A few spaces will be lost to create this new entrance. 4 or 5 new ones will be gained. Oh, excuse me. Here in the area by the relocated Girl Scout house. And we've created 19 to 20 additional spaces with our prior expansion to the west here near the basketball courts. So that is generally how the entire site will tie in. We'll be providing landscaping and tree replacement as well as vegetation within the rain garden areas. So with that, are there any questions from a site perspective?
Yes, Joe, thank you so much. Will there be any additional lighting back there?
Yes, lighting will be incorporated throughout the site for safety reasons, and that'll all be tied in with the plan.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Joseph, can you point out where the stop signs will be located? Yes, I gotta zoom in a little closer here. So the drop-off area will not be necessarily stop controlled. There will be a stop here actually as you enter and drop off. There will be a stop sign as you're exiting this entrance or the rear of the municipal building and going towards the main access road. This, I should note, will be one-way circulation entering the building at this new triangular area that's created with the rain garden. So as you're driving in off of Bond Drive, you'll have the option to either proceed ahead as the road winds and access the parking lot on your left, or to turn right and go towards the rear entrance of the municipal building, or access the new entrance at the rear. So will also be a stop control for the area coming out of the relocated Girl Scout property. Does that answer your?
Can you review the book drop-off area?
Sure. So the book drop-off area will be here. It will be kind of counter-clockwise. You would enter off of Morris here, and then you can, from your driver's side, give books through the drop-off window. And there is room for a car to come by.
Okay. So there will be an entrance and an exit sign there?
Yes, there will be here, and it kind of comes to more or less T. You could circulate back out towards Morris or towards Bond Drive in either direction.
I was gonna ask that if it was a left turn only when you come out of here, but you just said you can go into Morris Avenue from there.
Yeah, that's generally how the driveways function now. As you're coming out of the rear of the municipal building, you can go either way. We'd anticipate that there's enough freedom of movement here to be able to make either turn safely.
And one last question. Will there be any changes to the playground in that back area?
Not necessarily as part of this project. However, the township is looking at upgrading playground equipment, so I can't speak to the exact timing, but it may happen around the same time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Further questions from the board? Okay, Don, any more testimony at this time?
Mr. Chairman, nothing further from me, but I do know that Committee Woman Dellisfort and Mayor Figueredo are on, and I just wanted to specifically recognize them. Really just wanted to thank them for their guidance on this and their direction. Frankly, the entire Township Committee, I don't think they get recognized enough for the direction that they've given here. They're really the unsung heroes here. So I just wanted to specifically say thank you to them. Again, it doesn't end here. If we can answer any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Don. I want to take this time and thank you and Tom and Joseph for preparing the presentation for us. To me, it's an excellent project. It's something that the community needs, and it looks fantastic. And I'm looking forward to visiting it in 21 months plus. And again, the board will, as we said earlier, provide a recommendation to that effect, and also highlighting any questions that we may have talked about today. So again, Don and your team, I just want to say thank you. It looks fantastic. Any other comments from the board?
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to add to that. Certainly, thank you. I had my thank yous listed, and how could I forget Ms. Dellisfort and Manny and Township Committee? So glad you brought that forward to us. I'm particularly happy about the fact that there's such environmental consideration being given for the building. That was going to be one of my questions. I have a thing about that. It's an awesome project, and I really can't wait to see it happen as well. Thanks so much for all your work. I mean, you talked about nights and weekends. I believe you. I truly believe you. Thank you.
Good.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, you may.
I just want to thank the administration. You know, this was a vision of the Township Committee members, and it's a wonderful thing to see it, you know, move into fruition. And so we're very excited about the timeline. We're excited about the redevelopment of the park. And most importantly, we're excited to have a new public building for our residents. It's so well deserved, and it's right on time. You know, we will miss the former structure that was there that's, you know, soon to be demolished. But I think that this building serves the needs of our community and of our children. And I also love the fact that it's extremely pedestrian oriented, and it brings an arts component to it, which is sorely needed given the close of the movie theater. And so again, I just want to thank the administration, you know, Tom and Joe, for really putting together what the township has envisioned.
Excellent.
Thank you. I didn't mention the arts, the Black Box Theater has a movie screen in it.
Excellent.
Mr. Chairman, if I can just provide a comment. I know I'm sitting here tonight as a planning board member, but I do have to put on a little bit of my hat as the president of the library board. The library board is immensely grateful to the township administration, the township committee, for their investment and their funding in this project. This project would not happen without them. In fact, I know a couple of years ago, there was a referendum to put forth, to provide grants for library renovations. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get as much funding. I don't think we even got through the first round, unfortunately, with our application, but even that had stipulations in terms of what we could and cannot do. And after that, it was very bold, and it was very, very impressive of how the township said, you know, even with that, let's go big, and let's understand, and let's really put forth a building that will, I think, be a mainstay in our community, that will really emphasize the value proposition of public libraries throughout the entire community, and that I think a new generation of folks, including current generations, can have a newfound appreciation of what libraries can provide to a community beyond just simply books. And that effort could not be without members of the Township Committee as well as the Township Administration. I'm immensely grateful for all of the support in that effort. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Don and team and the Township Committee. Great job. With that being said, the next item on the agenda is Feldelco Springfield Road. Will the representative for that application come forward?
Yes, Chairman Bowser, again, you're stuck with me. At least you didn't have it. By the way, I would like to just add my congratulations to the township and Manny and Michelle and all the hard work, and Tom, Joe, and Bill. Exciting project for the township, and glad to see it happening. So anyhow, yes, we're here for a site plan waiver, Chairman Bowser and board members. And we did provide the application for the site plan waiver along with 2 supplemental letters, one dated February 17th, 2022 and February 23rd. Essentially, as indicated in our submissions, this property for a number of years has been Aspen Landscaping. With the decline of that business, it was purchased by Delco, very well-known developers, and it's great to see them having invested in the Township of Union. We were before the zoning board a while back for a commercial catering kitchen, and what this proposal is for is to have the Remarkable Foods Wonder occupy the rear portion that was previously used by Aspen Landscaping for the maintenance of their vehicles to maintain the fleet for Wonder. You may have heard about this company. It's an exciting company. They have their distribution headquarters in Cranford, and this site will solely be used for vehicle maintenance. As I've indicated, right now they have a fleet of about 120 vehicles, and essentially what they do is, it's kind of exciting. They do gourmet foods that they prepare, begin preparation in their kitchen in Cranford, and then distribute them and actually cook as they go and then deliver it to people's homes. So again, this location is not going to be for distribution of the food products. It's just for maintenance. And as I think indicated in my letter, there'll be approximately 20 vehicles that will need to be maintained at any given time. Certainly the intensity is far less than Aspen Landscaping, which was essentially a commercial landscaping company that did highways and the like. The use of the repair is permitted in the zone. And since there's no changes that are proposed to the site, other than Phil and I discussed it, the previous application required a relocation or installation of a handicap spot near the catering kitchen entrance, and that will be certainly a condition and stipulation. So that's an overview of what our submission is. Again, there's no site changes that are requested, just in essence a change in tenancy with the essentially same use.
Thank you. Any witnesses, Mr. Hale?
Jason Botcher from the Remarkable Foods I know we're texting each other. I know he's available, and perhaps he would just like to say hello and indicate how happy he's going to be to have a footprint in the Township of Union. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about their company. It's a pretty exciting venture. And I guess we have to admit him. I know he was watching.
Is he in?
I think I'm in,
He's
Steve.
in.
Let me see. Where are you? I don't see. There. I see Phil.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't had to do one of these in a long time, but it's.
Oh, there you are.
I don't miss dealing with the technology once COVID had started. I'll tell you that. But I do want to thank.
Jace, why don't we because technically you're testifying. Why don't we have you sworn?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear that the information you're about to give on this project shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Steve. All right, so Jason, again, just very briefly, talk a little bit about the company and the limited use of this property.
Sure, my pleasure. Thank you, Steve. And I would like to thank Chairman Bowser and Vice Chair Perkins for taking the time and for your consideration. So wonder if you haven't seen our trucks around. We are a gourmet food company, like Steve had said. And our primary central production and one of our distribution facilities is located in Cranford, New Jersey. We do our principal production at that facility, and food is then distributed either to mobile restaurants that we have on site at 4042 Jackson in Cranford, or to one of our other vehicle hubs, where food is then distributed to our customer service area. Food is rethermalized or production is not necessarily finished on the trucks, but preparation is finished on the trucks in front of your home. And we focus on principally gourmet foods. We do have some other items that are typical high demand products like pizza and tacos, things of that sort. The interesting thing is what we do is we partner with renowned chefs and restaurants from across the country. And we're essentially we're able to bring you these gourmet foods and cuisines from across the country right to your doorstep. In terms of this particular site here in Union, like Steve had mentioned, this is going to be a what we call FAM, which is Fleet Asset Management. It's a maintenance facility at the end of the day. So in terms of what's going on site now, Aspen Landscaping, our intensity of use would be less than that. We wouldn't have nearly as many vehicles on site. We expect it to be around 20 vehicles, approximately 20 vehicles, and associated maintenance employees.
Thank you. I don't think I'm not muted. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Blatcher. Again, any further questions? Jason's there to answer them.
Any questions from the board? Questions from the public?
We don't have any questions.
Okay. Mr. Hale, do you have any?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I might, I would like to say that from a purely technical standpoint, I would have no objection should the board grant this waiver. I would only stipulate that the two letters from Mr. Hale, dated February 17th and February 23rd, be appended to an approved site plan waiver, only because they specifically lay out the conditions under which this site will operate.
No objection to that. I appreciate that, Mr. Hatter.
Okay, any further questions from this witness? Mr. Hale, do you have additional testimony?
No, that's it, Mr. Chairman, and we look forward to the board granting this and having Remarkable Foods Wonder again be part of the Union business community.
Any comments from the community? Any comments from the board?
Only if you'd like to have my address in advance.
There is a wait list. If you jump on wonder.com, don't hesitate.
I already have the app.
Oh, cool.
At this time, can I have a motion to approve the site plan waiver with the condition that we include two letters dated February the 17th and February the 23rd be amended to the application? Have a motion to approve?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Yes.
Mayor Figueredo?
Yes.
Committeewoman Dellisfort,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Chairman Bowser.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much and truly appreciate your time. And again, congratulations on the municipal project. Very exciting, as is the other businesses. So have a great night and we'll see you all soon.
Thank you, Mr. Hale.
Thank you all.
You're quite welcome. At this time, we have no additional new business. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I get a second? I get a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call? I'm sorry, can all in favor say aye?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Everyone, stay safe.
Night.
Seeing you all.
Stay safe.
Good night.
Hang in there, Jim.
Yes.